Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Well, here we are on the eve of Christmas. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, along with Debbie Georgiani and the show team. I am Jerry Usher. Our final live broadcast before Christmas. We'll have some between Christmas and New Year's, and then we're off and running on 2021. But today, Debbie, a little bit of a different twist, and we have a special invitation for those who are a little bit younger among the Take Two family.
Just a little bit younger. Yes, for the teenagers and young adults, we want to know what your Christmas wishes are for your, for yourself, for your family, for the world. We want to hear from you, the teenagers, the young adults. What did he just write? The people that are Debbie's age. Yes, I do act like a teenager. That's right. And I love being, I do. Jerry, you act very young as well.
Do I?
Like young. Yeah, you
that's
do.
That's nice.
I mean, I laugh at everything you say. It's like cracks me up.
I feel young.
You're young at heart. We're young at heart, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, we do want to really hear from the teenagers and young adults. Please call in and share with us your Christmas wishes of what you really want for your life, for next year, for your family, for the U.S., for the world. We want to hear from you. Here's the number, 833-288-3986.
Okay, obviously the younger, the teens among our listenership want to talk to your parents, your mom or your dad first, and make sure that you have their approval and maybe even their involvement in calling in. But I love what you wrote, Debbie, in the show synopsis on take2show.com. You said it is so important that we truly listen to what the younger generation is hoping and praying for. And I get the sense, I could be wrong. I'd love to have young people call in to correct me, but I fear, I don't know this with any empirical evidence, but I fear that a lot of them are looking at the world today and the future, and they're going, man, what is going to happen? You know, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt. But you know what, dear young people, teens and young adults, you're the ones who can change things. You can reshape the world. We can bring Christ back into the world. We can have, a better world to live in because of your fervor for truth and for making the world a better place. So call in today, teens and young adults, on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. What is your Christmas wish for yourself, your family, the world? 833-288-3986.
And maybe if your teenager is hesitant to call in because they've never really called into a radio show, maybe you as the parent can call in and share what your teens have been saying, around the dinner table. We really want to know. This is a family. We want to know about all the members of the family and what's really concerning them, what's deep in their hearts. But if you are a teenager, 13, 14, 15, all the way up to like 21, 22, or if you're just young at heart like we are, and you feel like a teenager and you're in your 50s, call in anyway. 833-288-3986. Okay, Jerry, I have Rich Jesse is call screening, by the way. Everybody will say hi, Rich, when he answers the phone. Okay, Jerry, real quickly. So I have a frog in my throat, and I was like sitting here praying, Lord, please, just clear, make sure my throat's okay just for the show, right? But then I started thinking, I'd rather have a frog in my throat than a raccoon in my Christmas tree in my living room. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
A raccoon got through the doggy door of somebody's house and jumped into their Christmas tree and then jumped onto their chandelier.
Oh, my. A very creative raccoon, we might say.
Yet the weird thing about it is the homeowner was so calm. She was filming the whole thing, and she was so calm. I would have been screaming.
Marty!
Yeah, help! Call 911. But no, isn't that incredible? So be careful those doggy doors.
That's right. Oh, yeah. You never know what's going to come in those doggy doors.
Yeah, a raccoon. Can you believe that? Wow, that's scary. Okay, so we got open phone lines, folks. Please share with us your Christmas wishes. Now we opened this up for the teenagers because we realize you're home, right? You're home because of COVID, or you're home because of Christmas break. You're home right now. So if your parents are listening to Take Two, this is your chance to say something. 833-288-3986. Don't be bashful. Don't be reserved. And certainly don't be shy.
Well, we've, as we always say, 5.5 years, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. And we have done some shows in the past for younger, like teens, young people, young adults, millennials, things like that. But this is one of those, it's kind of a rare opportunity. So we want to throw up the phone lines for you. And yeah, as Debbie said, who knows if we're going to get a lot of teens and young adults calling today or not. It just depends. I mean, a lot of you are home indeed because of COVID or the holidays, but you might be involved in a whole lot of things, maybe running around doing a little bit of last-minute Christmas shopping or decorating or trying not to get into fights with your siblings that you're not usually home with.
Right.
Things like that. So even the grown-ups feel free to call in on this. We're talking about, what is on your heart right now, from your heart to the world, your wish for yourself, for your family, for your community, for the church. What are your wishes for the church at this Christmas time, for the world? 833-288-EWTN or 833-288-3986.
When the teens get an opportunity to speak like this on a worldwide platform, please take us up on this offer. So call in. It's very easy. You're going to call up and speak to Rich Jesse. He's wonderful to talk to. He'll put you on hold for a few minutes, and you can jump in to the conversation and share your Christmas wish. Please don't sit this out. Please, if you have something to say, teens, you know what? You could feel that nudge in your spirit, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, mom is listening to Take Two. This is what she does when she has lunch every day. She listens to Take Two. All right, I have something to say. Just, you know what? Say, Mom, I want to call in. Let's go. 833-288-3986 and share your Christmas wish. Okay, my Christmas wish, Jerry? Mm-hmm. That everybody stays close to Jesus. There's a lot of people that are really starting to develop their relationship or deepening their relationship with Jesus. And I pray that after things kind of subside and things kind of get somewhat back to normal next year, I pray that people continue their journey with Christ.
Yeah, well, I certainly join you in that wish. And I would say, too, that we get past the crucial stage of the pandemic, whether it's the vaccine, so much uncertainty and malcontent over the vaccine right now, some bad things, happening here and there. So I just simply pray that we would all, like you say, keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, especially the babe in the manger this time of year.
'Tis the season for Christmas programming. Join EWTN Radio Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for the 48 Hours of Christmas with Mother Angelica.
You ever notice everybody says around the middle of dinner, oh, I'll never eat again. Then they go for the pie. Oh, I'll never eat again. Oh, I'll never eat again. And there they are, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and they're still eating, and they'll never eat again.
The 48 Hours of Christmas, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on EWTN Radio.
This is Mike and Alicia Hernan with the Messy Family Minute. St. John Paul II tells us that family is the school of virtue, but for many parents, it feels like a school of warfare. Siblings, no matter what the age, tend to have conflicts with each other over an endless number of issues. We're here to tell you, first of all, even though it feels like your children will never get along, they can be best friends someday. The fighting doesn't last forever, but you will need to be proactive in developing strong ties between siblings.
First of all, give them the tools they need to resolve conflict. That means teaching them how to listen to others, how to ask forgiveness, and how to take responsibility for their own actions. Second, resist rushing in to solve every conflict for them. They need to learn how to figure things out for themselves. And last, keep perspective. These children will be in relationship with each other for a long time. And if they aren't getting along when they are 4 or 6, don't lose heart. They will have years to figure it out with your guidance. For more resources and ideas on resolve the conflict with kids, visit us at Messy Family Minute. We
sure do hope you have a very Merry Christmas. we, all of us on the Take Two team, we just love you guys. The Take Two family is awesome. You guys have always come through for us, and we just pray that you have just the most incredible Christmas and a new year that you can absolutely look forward to and wake up every day just jumping out of bed saying, "Yay, it's 2021." That's what we're all going to do. But Jerry, real quickly, I just wanted to share before we go to the phones, and we're asking the teens, young adults, and those that feel like a teenager, even though you may be in your 50s or 60s. Tell us your Christmas wish. We want to hear your wishes, the deepest wishes in your hearts that you really want for the world, for yourself, for your family, for your parish, for your community. We want to hear about it. But just real quickly, if you're ever interested in starting a Catholic radio station, can you believe there's still places around the country that don't have Catholic radio? It's pretty interesting. So if you talk about being prompted by the Spirit, if God may be calling you to this mission in Catholic radio, you can find out how you can start a Catholic radio station where you live. All you have to do is contact Jack Williams, and he's another one who's great to talk to. And Jack Williams is at jwilliams@EWTN.com. And yes, he is Johnette's husband.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's the same Jack Williams. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not going to be with you again until Tuesday, I think that's the 28th, for a live show. 833-288-3986. Let's just open the phone lines to anybody right now, teens, young adults in particular, but all of us, the entire Take Two family. If you've got something you would like to say to the world, a Christmas wish, or in years past, I mean, it's always the case that many people are away from loved ones physically, geographically, during Christmas and the holidays. You may have relatives deployed overseas, maybe somebody working in a different part of the country just due to whatever circumstances. But even if we're not that far apart geographically, this Christmas, a lot of us are still going to not be able to be with family and friends. So that's another twist on this topic today as well. If there's somebody that you're loving and missing right now and not going to be able to see and spend that beautiful time with over Christmas, and you want to give them a little bit of a Christmas wish, send your love to them, we'd let you do that too. 833-288-3986. Okay.
And you can also text your wishes in to, you text the letters EWTN to 55000. That's the way to text us. You can email us, take2@EWTN.com. You can leave a Facebook post, a YouTube comment, whatever works for you, or you can call in. And we're primarily asking for the teens. If you're listening, call in. We need to hear from you. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. But Rosemarie was up first in South Dakota, listening on Real Presence Radio. Hi, Rosemarie. Thanks for waiting and welcome.
Hi, Debbie and Jerry. How are you?
Doing well now. Rosemarie, thanks so much for calling. Yeah, go ahead.
We're having the worst blizzard since I used to live in California and I moved back to South Dakota. We're having the worst blizzard ever since I moved back here 8 years ago. Please pray for everyone in South Dakota. My sister invited me to come out to the Black Hills area, which is 5 hours away. Mm-hmm. And I usually spend Christmas alone, but I'd rather be safe. And recently I've thought about doing a virtual Christmas card on Facebook. I wish everybody in the world peace, joy, and love. Mm-hmm. And I love Christmas. I love sending Christmas cards. And I wish the spirit of Christmas could last every day throughout the year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but you know what, Rosemarie? We can make it last throughout the year. The Christmas spirit. There's so many ways, just by living out our faith, by constantly talking to others about God, we can live it out, and we should live it out. And if that's one of the things we learned through this very crazy 2020 year, is we should we should just know that God needs to be the center of everything. Let me just share something really quickly, Rosemarie. My husband and I, we were doing so many things around the house last week that we decided we just got to take a break. We got to get out of the house, right? So we went up the street to to this locally owned restaurant that we really love. It's a small little restaurant. We walked in, and because of social distancing, and every other table has to be spread. We have to be spread out. They didn't have room. There was no room in the inn. Okay, they didn't have room for us. Right. So we stood out. We stood in the lobby area, the little entranceway area, and this wonderful lady. We ended up starting up a conversation, and we found that we had so much in common. Her and her husband were there. It was their first time going to this restaurant. It wasn't our first time, but we really just got along. We just hit it off. We were just talking about everything, the crazy world. We were talking about God. We were talking about everything. She's a very devout Christian. Anyway, they got a table before us. Okay, so they went in. We were still standing outside, my husband and I, and her husband came out of the restaurant and said, we were thinking to ourselves, we really enjoyed meeting you. Can you join us for dinner? And we said, absolutely. And we sat down and we had the best conversation. And Rosemary, I would say 90% of the time, guess who we were talking about? Just take a guess.
Jesus.
You got it. You got it. And we were so filled. We were so fulfilled. It was such a joyous experience, and it was spontaneous. It was from the Holy Spirit. And look how the Holy Spirit works. 90% of the time, we weren't talking about, hey, where do you live? Hey, tell me about your kids. Hey, we were talking about Jesus. We were talking about God, and it was amazing. I just want to say that I think we need more of that, not less of that. And I just pray, Rosemary, that people do carry that Christmas spirit all year long into the new year. What do you think?
Yeah. I totally agree with you. Yesterday, I went to Mitchell, which is 20 miles away, 20 miles north of where I live. And I met my youngest sister, and she gave me a Christmas gift. And I treated myself to a buffet luncheon at Pizza Ranch. And but I'm going to have my own. I mean, I have a lot of. I'm trying to do a lot of house cleaning today because I've been so busy writing out Christmas cards, and I've included in my Christmas cards I'm a media missionary, and I include the winter highlights schedule. And for next quarter, I'm going to ask EWTN to send me more of them because I've sent them to people you wouldn't believe I've sent to. I mean, I sent one to the I mean, my sister is very negative. She can't believe the things I do. And I like to reach out to people, and I even sent one to Prince William, and I sent Prince William and Duchess Catherine, their two younger children, a birthday card earlier this year, and they sent me a beautiful picture of the two younger children. So I sent them a Christmas card with the EWTN letter. And I sent, who else I sent them to? Well, I mean, but I have sent them to people. And I've written to the Pope. I've sent him a Christmas card and a birthday card. And he's sent me replies like a thank you letter. And I sent a birthday card to President Trump, a religious one that has a Virgin Mary picture.
Well, Rosemary, go
ahead.
ahead. Please finish your thought. Go ahead.
But I like being a media missionary, and to me, that's a way of evangelizing.
It is. I was gonna thank you for that, because we promote that here on this show and all other EWTN shows regularly. And by the way, what a media missionary is, for anyone who's interested, is you can contact EWTN, and you can be the one who spreads the word about all of the different EWTN ministries throughout your area where you live. You can just go to EWTNmissionaries.com today and join us in sharing the eternal word with the world. But just getting back to your blizzard for a minute, I love, Debbie, that story that you shared. That was beautiful. But I know, Rosemary, white Christmases are nothing new to those of you in South Dakota, but this is maybe going a little bit too far, these blizzards. I was just looking, as Debbie was sharing, I was looking up online at some of the famous blizzards that you all have had there over the years, and I'm looking at one picture in particular. of a gentleman who's standing on top of the snow, and he is at the height of the telephone poles, where the wires are. And that's got to be a good, what is that, 12, 15, 18 feet of snow. So please, all of you in South Dakota, you have our prayers, you have our thoughts and prayers. Please, Rosemary, be safe. And, if anyone, I guess, what would they say, Debbie, if you don't have to travel too much, if it gets really bad, then please be very, very careful, because we want the Take Two family to be with us going forward.
We want you to be safe. And Rosemary, keep spreading that cheer. And God bless you, and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for calling and gracing this conversation. Okay, Jerry, we have a couple open phone lines. So we're asking the teens and young adults, or the parents of teens, share with us your Christmas wish for your world, the world, for our country, for our lives, for yourself, for everything. Just share with us. We want to know what's deep in your heart right now during this time. It's been an interesting year. So please call in 833-288-3986. And if I could talk today, that would help.
Well, maybe it's a good time for a Christmas break for both of us, for all of us.
Yeah, I need a break. I know. Isn't it weird though? You use your voice all the time, right? In ministry, and you never really think about it. But then when you start to have a sore throat or something happens, you're like, uh-oh, this is a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Lisa in Peoria, Illinois, listening on 94.3 FM WPMJ. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Hi there.
How are you?
Doing well. Thanks so much for calling.
Good. Well, I'm a parent of teenagers, and I heard your intro today, and I thought if I was home, I would have my kids call, but I'm not home right now, so I took the plunge. We have been staying at home quite a bit during this pandemic and not going to Mass. We've been participating through online services every week, and the other day my 15-year-old son came to me and said, Mom, what I really want for Christmas, it's okay that we watch Mass online, but what I really want is a chance to go to confession. Can we get to church one day, Mom, so we can go to confession? And that just really spoke to my heart and put me in just a different place to see that there's a lot going on in this world, but the goodness comes through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, so may I say something real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead, sure.
Lisa, I was a youth minister for many years, and this is the reason why Jerry and I prayed about doing this show today right before Christmas. We wanted to hear from the teens and how they are feeling, and thank you for sharing what your 15-year-old son said about actually physically going to church and receiving the sacraments. He nailed it. Our teens get it. They understand that they get it, that they must be connected, physically connected, not just online, not just virtually. This is where this gets me going, Lisa. I've said this from the very beginning of this pandemic. I said the biggest problem is going to be the disconnect that the faithful feel, that they are away from the church, that they can't just open the church doors and go visit Jesus. They can't just go to the sacraments. They can't just go to Mass. Everything is online. Everything is on their phones or whatever. It's not the same as actually being there, and your son gets it, and that is so beautiful. Please tell your son that what he's feeling inside is spot on, and that's how we should all be feeling, that we want to be reconnected with Holy Mother Church in a real personal, physical, way. We want to be there. We don't just want to watch it. I can't say it enough. You know how I feel about this, Jerry. I struggle with this because I think it's a big problem that we're going to have down the road, that everybody feels
all of us,
disconnected.
people of all ages, need to remain connected to the sacraments, and it's very, very hard to do that right now. But Lisa, as a parent, okay, I cannot imagine anything that warms your heart, like you said, more than a child wanting, saying that they want to be, get the sacraments. I mean, we need the Eucharist, the spiritual food, the bread of life to sustain us on this spiritual journey. But let us not forget about the sacrament of confession, which sometimes gets a little bit lost in this. We talk about, how many can go to Mass, limited number of people. We have to watch Mass on TV in a lot of cases, and that's true. But then sometimes lost in all of that is confession. confession. We don't stop sinning, we don't stop sinning.
True.
So it's got, yeah. So in fact, there's a after a noon mass today, which we have outdoors here in California. We have several priests that are going to be there, and I'll be able to make my Advent confession today too. So I'm very blessed and inspired, as Debbie is, by your son's devotion to the faith, Lisa.
Well, it was wonderful. We had the opportunity to do it last night, and just when we walked into the church, the tears just came kind of to all of us. We just felt like we felt like we were home. We walked in, we were like, we just feel home.
Exactly. Because you were present. Yeah,
I agree with
absolutely.
you. It's just not the same. And Father reminded us all that Jesus is with us no matter where we are, no matter where we celebrate Mass. But we just felt home, and we just felt that peace and healing after going to reconciliation.
Beautiful. Oh, please give yourself a hug from us, a virtual hug, but give your son a big squeeze. That is awesome, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. All right, so we're going to stay in Illinois when we come back with Mary. We have other calls, but a couple of phone lines open. Your Christmas wish this year for yourself, your family, the world. 833-288-3986. Join us.
CNA is the only fast, reliable, and free Catholic news source that brings blogs, stories, and opinions to your fingertips. The latest Catholic news is at CatholicNewsAgency.com.
I'm Dr. Greg Popchak from More to Life. God sent his son into the world to be his greatest gift. St. John Paul the Great's Theology of the Body reminds us the best way we can celebrate Christmas is to remember to be inspired by Christ's example and make a gift of ourselves to others. My prescription for a more grace-filled holiday? Step back from all the busyness of the season. Allow yourself to really be with the people you love. Take time to listen, to accompany, to care. This Christmas, make a present of your presence. I'm Dr. Greg Popchak from More to Life.
Father Benedict Rochelle.
There are legitimate differences of opinion in any religion. There are differences of opinion in Catholicism. But in Catholicism, you expect that people will take the teaching of its supreme authority seriously. To go diametrically opposed to those teachings is to not be a Catholic. Someone in the name of Catholicism is sponsoring the destruction of human life. Lives of unborn children. And they got the name Catholic on the door. The highest authority in Catholicism and the encyclical Humanae Vitae, Evangelium Vitae, is absolutely clear that no Catholic can support abortion and that Catholics are responsible to take serious action against legalized abortion.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
This is Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers from Morning Glory. We're talking about everything important to today's Catholic.
Plus your emails, texts, and tweets.
Monday morning, 7 Eastern. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
This is your show. It's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio, and we want to make sure that we take this opportunity not only to wish the Take Two family a very blessed Christmas, a Merry Christmas, but also the show team, our producer Michael Birchfield, our social media manager Jeff Burson, our call screener Ryan Penny, and today Rich Jesse is screening the calls, and Charles Beery screens calls from time to time. Michael McCall fills in. So it takes a lot of people to stir all of the ingredients up and bring you a program every day, but we are so blessed to be able to do that.
We're ingredients. I love that.
Yeah. We're ingredients in a delicious soup.
You know, I have to tell you something. You have you need to bake cookies or something.
Maybe I will. Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't go anywhere, so.
Do you have all the ingredients?
I would bake cookies, but government rules, I can't leave my bedroom right now until probably the next 12 to 18 months. So.
Is that all of California?
I'm exaggerating, but it is, we feel pretty shut down right now. We're very, very shut down right now. So, But we're praying for the whole country. I mean, it's really kind of a different degrees of a mess everywhere you go right now. I think.
That's a cool way of saying it. Okay, we have a couple open phone lines. Please call in and share your Christmas wish. If you are a teenager, you'll go to the front of the line because the show is about you and for you. 833-288-3986. But if you feel like a teenager, call in. Mary in Eureka, Illinois has been waiting so patiently. Hi, Mary. Welcome.
Oh, hi. I love your show. Thank you, guys. Anyway,
thanks.
I just want to add a praise report because I'm 79 years old here, and I don't fit your younger category, but I am teaching face-to-face 30 teenagers at a Chesterton Academy in Peoria, Illinois, and we got through the semester, and and God is so gracious. But I'm also sitting here looking at a book by a young woman in a prayer group I started 12 years ago, and it's Bonnie Engstrom's book, 61 Minutes to a Miracle, and it's the story of the Fulton Sheen miracle baby that was born right here in central Illinois. And I remember it was about 10 years ago, and he was stillborn, no heartbeat, no vitals for 61 minutes by the clock. But through prayer and through the much intercession, and he actually came back to life, and it's and all the medical data. There were 3 different medical teams that worked this poor little baby over, and so all that was packaged up and sent by our Bishop Jenke to the Vatican, and then 2 years later it was declared an official miracle of the Catholic Church. But I remember when I was 11, my dad taught at Notre Dame University, and in the summertime there used to be a religious from like Africa and third world countries that came in, and they would whisper about raisings from the dead in response to fervent prayer of the church, the people in the church. But I thought, oh boy, if I could see one little miracle, like if my dad, who drove black Buicks, would buy a red Ford station wagon, that would be a miracle. And that happened. So to me, that was a miracle at that age. But I thought, if I could ever see one big miracle. But here we are in central Illinois, and we've had this right in our lap. And I'm thinking at a time when half the nation just voted to allow the killing of full-term babies. We have this full-term baby stillborn that came back to life in response to fervent prayer and fasting. And a lot of little children, there were holy hours, and because even after he was born, he was a pretty sick baby for a while, and there were little children that and parents that had holy hours over in Metamora and around at the cathedral in Peoria, and prayed and fasted and gave up candy and stuff like you would in Lent for the sake of this baby. And so we know God is with us, and we know that God answers prayer. So even in these dark times, we should take hope, because even when things look bleak, there's this wonderful thing. So I'm giving probably the 30th book it is in my hand. I got it Barnes and Noble, and that Bonnie wrote, and I'm going to give this away to somebody for Christmas. But I think it's the best Christmas gift I've ever been able to give people in my lifetime. So I'm very grateful.
Wow. Mary, you have got a ton of energy. Thank you so much, and thanks for your teaching of the kids at that, I think you said, at Chesterton Academy, and thankfully, the semester you got through it there, and hopefully you'll all be back there, God willing, after the Christmas break. We've certainly heard about this miracle baby, and you made the point, God, I just made a note to myself, one of the points I wanted to make, God still exists. God is still in the miracle business. And we know with all the dirtiness, the darkness, the sin in the world, Paul says in Romans 5:20, where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more. We can't forget that. We can't forget that, God is pouring out grace on the world right now. Well, more than he has perhaps in a long time, maybe more than ever. We don't know. I didn't live in every Christian age, since Jesus Christ walked the face of the earth, but it certainly it would qualify as one of the leading contenders of a time when grace would abound very, very abundantly in the world today. We need to seize that. We need to take hold of that and say, God, give me the grace to do your will, to know your will, to love you, and to shine the light on you, so the people who are groping right now, people are wandering around wondering, what is up? Which way is up? What is 2 plus 2? Is there still a God? Does he love me? We need to be the vessels that communicate that message to people. I know I'm kind of rambling on now, Debbie. I'll give you a chance to share some thoughts.
Not at all. I think you were doing great. And Mary, we so appreciate your call today and what you had to share with us. And all I kept thinking as you were speaking is that we need to talk more to people about God and these real life miraculous stories, small and huge miracles with people. Because think about it. We're in a world right now where the Christians are they've gone silent. Think about it. I mean, there's a lot of people lately who I've heard who are Catholic, right? And they love EWTN, and they are so grateful for EWTN because EWTN is kind of like the lighthouse. It just is it's going strong, right? And it's staying right there, and it's permanent, and it's really doing well. And people love EWTN, but when they turn on the TV set, you know what they see? They're gravitating towards, like, for instance, Franklin Graham, who's wonderful and is speaking about, falling in love with Jesus and everything. People are searching for people that are going to spread the gospel message, that are going to, because that's what we're made for. That's what we're here for. And Christians have gone silent. Why? Because we don't want to be canceled out. We don't want to be called names. We don't want to be labeled. We don't need the added headaches. We have too many headaches in 2020, so we don't want any more. So we go silent. That's ridiculous. We need to spread the gospel message even more. EWTN's doing their part. Everybody out in the world who's out in the world interacting with others, teaching others, talking to others, having friends, neighbors, parishioners, they should be doing the same. That's what I think anyway. That's my little mini homily for today. What do you think, Mary?
Oh, I think you're right on. And I love your station. When we can't get to Mass, I do Holy Mass on my face, on my knees, curled up like in a fetal position. And it is so powerful. When you can't get to Mass, you can do that spiritual communion. But one nice thing about being isolated is that we can take whatever prayer posture we want to take, and we can sob real big sobs and cry real tears. And I think we should do that any time we can, and cry for the world and cry for what's going on, because I think God answers these prayers and tears, and there were certainly prayers and tears that went up for this little baby, and we just saw miracle after miracle with that whole thing, and the fact that Bonnie got this book out last year, and I gave it away for Christmas, and now I'm running out of copies again, so I'm going to go over to Barnes & Noble order some more, but to be able to share the good news, but to also be able to fast and pray and really work on that sacred romance we have with God, because it takes two to make a romance, right. And God's out there romancing us, but we're like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, did he give us a star? Huh? Did he give us a sign? Oh, what was that? We need to take hold of these things and again,
right. But Mary, when you're talking about a romance, in how you're describing it, there's many of us that tend to run away from that romance for some reason. Maybe because in our lives, we're unwilling to make the necessary changes to enter into a romance. Okay, so God is trying to reach out to us. He's trying to connect with us, and we're kind of running away. And that's so silly, because we're not even giving it we're not even giving the opportunity for that great relationship to happen. And it's very sad. And yet what do we strive? What do we look for? What are we seeking? We're seeking to be loved, to be accepted. So we're seeking a relationship. We're seeking relationships, only we're seeking them with other human beings that are ultimately, because of their humanity, are going to disappoint us, when God won't ever disappoint us, right? Here I go again. Right. I'm telling you, I should be on, I don't know, Mary, help me.
Well, it's a wonderful.
You should be on the radio.
It's a wonderful season because we do have an opportunity. There is an opening in many people whose hearts have been closed. And, when you think about God's image of the church as the bride of Christ, he is the instigator. But, like to do a romance, that young woman's got to turn and look that lover in the eyes, and keep, and you don't have, and you keep looking him in the eyes, and then you're a woman, I'm a woman, it's that magic. But God is he's out there instigating, but, we need to open up and ask. And in this prayer group we had this front row seat to this miracle, but in this prayer group, remember the person leading the prayer that day was God told, ask for the gift of miracles. And she's in her heart, she's saying to God, that's an awfully hefty gift for this group. I've got people here who aren't even baptized yet. What will they think of me? And he says, I'm not interested in your opinions. I'm interested in your obedience. She said, and that's when I knew it was God, and I prayed that prayer and for the gift of miracles and for the gift of discernment, and we got this miracle in our laps 2 days later, big time, and we're just ordinary people, so it shows that anybody can do what Sister Saint Faustina said. We don't have because we don't ask. We're lacking in imagination. We don't ask. I mean, we can ask for things, and if God doesn't want to do them, He'll let us know. He won't do them, But it's sad to think that there are a lot of things we could have, but we just don't ask because we don't credit God with having all riches and glory, that He's got a shortage of gifts to pass out. But I think we could have a dynamic church out of this COVID if we go after it. If we put some prayer groups out there and say, okay, I'm thinking, put a sign up at the grocery store and say, do you need prayer? Come and make an appointment with two of us. We'll do social distance prayer, half hour, 1 hour thing, schedule a time. That could be very powerful. I mean, you can do that on a park bench. You can do that in a mall. I mean, there are a lot of ways we could. There are people out there, I think, listening to your radio station that just would love to be invited to come to the Catholic Church, but they're not going to go up and beat the door down. They need somebody to say, "Hey, come with me. Would you like to come?"
Sure.
Or let's do adoration, or let's do I'll listen to EWTN Mass with you on Friday because my priest isn't here. I can't go to daily Mass, but let's do it in your home, and I'll show you how to do it at home. You don't have to be Catholic to do Mass with EWTN on the radio in the morning. You just need to get, in a quiet place and assume some, positions of, and you have a freedom of expression with your body that we don't have in church. You can lay down and pound the floor and cry.
Yeah.
You can cover your head with a prayer shawl. You can do a lot of things that add to your language to God, your visual language of God, of your reverence for Him, that we can't do in a church because it would distract everybody. But we need to think about in a love relationship. It's the language of gesture, of vision, and you really free at home. So I love, even when I go to Mass, I'll turn on, when I get to go to Mass, I'll turn on EWTN Mass in the morning and do the Mass in a posture of penitence. Or reverence, or whatever is going on, But we have that freedom at home, so let's use it. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's a wonderful station that you have.
Well, God bless you, Mary. And you mentioned, this COVID crisis and everything, the lockdowns and all of that is an opportunity. Indeed, it is. I'm very fond of saying, every human crisis is a divine opportunity, and you have put your finger on a lot of beautiful things that we can do. And your heart, to me, is just very, very beautiful, Mary. The fact that, you say that you get in these different, like, penitential positions, and you've shed tears. I, too, have shed tears during this virus. Read certain of the Psalms. I was moved to tears the other day as I was praying Psalm 79 during my prayer time. And, we have to have that emotion. It's healthy to show that emotion. And I think, if we do that, that's one of the things that we do in a love relationship. You said, this sacred love affair that we have with God. So God bless you, Mary. You are a woman of great faith and great spiritual maturity. And we thank you so much for gracing our program today. We pray that you have a very, very Merry Christmas with you and yours in Eureka, Illinois. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you so much. Thelma, you were on the line and your call dropped, or you had to hang up. If you want to call back, Rich will put you at the front of the line because you were waiting so patiently. Thelma from Erie, Pennsylvania, listening on the Station of the Cross. Please call back, but do it quickly. Donovan is up next in Gilbert, Minnesota. Real Presence Radio is the way you're listening. Donovan, I'm curious. I live in Gilbert, Arizona. That's so cool. We're like sisters.
How about that?
Yeah. Very cool.
There's
How
a man
are
at my
you?
church. His name is Gilbert.
That doesn't count, Jerry. Jerry,
okay.
And our church is St. Joseph's Church, and the history of this church goes all the way back to when I lived in southern Minnesota, when I was baptized in a church of St. Joseph when I was just a baby. And it seems like over the years, as we made our moves, and all of a sudden, here we're in northern Minnesota in the mining area, and now my wife is retired from teaching. I'm a retired realtor now. And we found this wonderful, wonderful station of Real Presence, and we can, every morning I turn it, I have it kicked on at about 6 o'clock, and then we take in the Mass every morning because I am pretty much homebound. But let me tell you what, the wonderful, wonderful information that comes off of this channel is wonderful. And we have several other towns in the area are now tuning in all the time. And it's just wonderful what's been happening. But I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. And we do need a lot of prayers out there because the incoming president and the vice president are so in tune to abortions again. And we have a president who's just a wonderful, wonderful president. And it seems like we've kind of lost a little bit. And the Lord is trying to wake us up right now to get back on it. And so we need to have more prayers, and wherever you get a chance, even say the rosary several times a day. And there's a new rosary that is out that I had gotten, and wow, it's every state of the union on it. And let me tell you what, when you pray for that, and especially when you go to pray the one from Delaware, because that's where this president coming in is from, we got some major problems, and we need everybody to get on the road and pray and even talk to their senators and representatives so that we can get him to change his ways. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, Donovan, we no disagreements on the abortion thing here. It has been a scourge on our nation. Tens of millions of unborn babies' lives have been taken, and this has been going on for a very long time. And we just need to pray for everyone, regardless of political affiliation. Certainly, Paul says in the Bible.
I want to tell you a story. Way
Real
back
quick, yeah.
when my oldest daughter, she was pregnant, and the little ones They lost because of something happened. She couldn't carry him through. I happened to be there to be able to hold that little one and both of them, and there was not much to them, but they still had a little bit of life, and they're gone. And tell you what, that's wonderful, wonderful. And then from that time on, I even put a sign out in front of my farm that abortion is murder. And that's exactly what we are against today. We have to keep putting up all of these facts out there and keep it going. And I hope God bless can help all of us and give us the extra power we need to in the prayer service.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know I can't quote chapter and verse right now off the top of my head, but I know it's in the Old Testament. It says, choose this day. I think it's Moses. Is it Moses talking to the people? Choose this day whom you will serve. Choose life that you may live, or choose death. And that choice is before us every single day. And yes, we need to pray for anyone who is opposed to the sacredness of human life at any level of government, in any role in society, any institution, any individual, because God is the God of life. And just want to say a quick, for any woman who is listening right now, if you've been involved in an abortion, or a man, the only place you're really going to find true healing and compassion as you bring that to God in confession is in the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, a lot of people would say, the church is all about no, you can't do this. But the church says yes to life. And that's the thing that we want to uphold, especially with Debbie. We look at this little baby in the manger. What are we talking about? You sometimes see those bumper stickers. Thank God Mary was pro-life. Well, of course she was, but we've got to somehow just beg God, just storm heaven, in praying for an end to abortion.
Well, and we have wonderful programs to help people through that. Rachel's Vineyard and Project Rachel and everything. So yeah, the healing is definitely in the Catholic Church. Donovan, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your passion, for your spirit, for loving the station, for loving this show. And Donovan, we have another thing in common. We're both live in the same named city, Gilbert, but my husband's a realtor as well. So there you go. Jerry, you can't top that one, right?
You can't. Donovan, thanks, brother. We are short on
Donovan.
time here. Have a Merry Christmas, and we do join you in praying for that end to abortion. Our friend Michael in Boston is going to round things out for us here, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hey, Michael, Merry Christmas to you, brother.
Hi, Michael.
Merry Christmas, Jerry and Debbie. Obviously, that thing when I banged my vocal cord is still a work in progress, so bear with this voice, man. I sound like Vito Corleone, but I'm not him.
We'll keep praying for you.
Godfather.
Forget about it. No, but obviously I'm not a teenager, but I wanted to call if there's any teenagers or young people out there or their parents, and I don't want to sound like a wise guy, but Christmas is Jesus' birthday, so why don't we think of giving him a gift? And the greatest gift we could get him. Once you know someone that loves you as much as he does, you want to learn to love him back. And so maybe they should buy a catechism or a revised version of the Bible there and learn about the person who loves you so you can fall deeper in love with him. Because there's the gift, and the only thing, and he'll give it right back to you. And the only thing is the best gift is the thing he already made his Christmas promise of what his Christmas wish was: love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, all your mind, but love one another. If you give him that, boy, you'll make him smile every day.
Wow. Michael, you are awesome. Jerry and I want to share something with you. We were talking about that we really needed to hear your voice for Christmas, and we got that gift today, Jerry. And Michael, you are so loved by the Take Two family. Everybody loves to hear what you have to say, and your wise and beautiful words. It's just amazing, and we appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Michael. And that's great advice for the teens to really give a gift to Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Michael, thank you. We will continue to pray that your voice returns to normal. Quick email I wanted to get to from, I believe it says Don and Barb. I'm not sure which one sent it. I'm in my late 60s. We raised 2 children who are now in their 30s. That is not what my wish is about exactly. It is about this pandemic. I wish people all over the world would wake up to the evils, immorality, especially abortion. How can we expect this plague to go away when humanity is not changing about this? I think of this like what happened to Job. Maybe God has allowed the devil to put this on us to see who will stay with him. Not a punishment, but a test. It seems like we just want our previous, quote, normal. There are no coincidences, and now the virus is actually getting worse. More countries are legalizing abortion. Now our country is poised to expand it again. People who I talk to about this, not many, say I shouldn't be a single-issue voter. To me, that is like telling the world in 1940 that the death camps are just another social issue equal to the economy, poverty, racism, healthcare, etc. We have to solve the biggest problem first. God bless you. And that comes from Don and Barb.
Powerful.
Yeah.
We need to hear those words.
Barb. It's from Barb. It says in the top subject of the email. Sorry about that. It's from Barb.
It's from Barb. Okay. Thank you for that. Please send us emails. We love getting your emails. We read everything. Take2@EWTN.com. Real quickly, just looking ahead. First of all, Jerry and I and the whole show team and EWTN want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. On Monday, we are going to be replaying the incredible interview with the mother of Blessed Carlo Acutis, Antonio Salzano, right from Italy. You will love that show. That's on Monday. Tuesday, we'll be back live with this incredible question. If you could do something just one more time what would it be? We're going to be asking that live on Tuesday. Jerry?
Okay, from all of us, the show team, everyone at EWTN, have a very, very Merry Christmas, a beautiful and blessed day, evening, Christmas holiday. And of course, this is the year of St. Joseph, so we continue to invoke his intercession as we say, St. Joseph, pray for us. And we will talk to you again very soon. God bless you. We love you.
Dr. Ray Guarendi, making your parenting more fit, making your kids have less fit.